Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, wherever you are, however you may be listening, thank you for including us into your day. I want to personally welcome you to an encounter with Marcus Stewart. Enjoy.
Welcome to the Encounter Podcast. I am your host. I am Minister Marcus. I want to say thank you guys for including me into your day today. I have a couple of special guests, but before I do that, I want to shout out to Shirts by Stu for making me this shirt. This is like a first generation of the black apparel. So shout out to Shirts by Stu for making me the shirt exclusively on Instagram. So you can go to Shirts by Stu at Shirts by Stu 2 O's. If you want to get this shirt, is these and others on there. So just want to send a shout out. But this is the Encounter Podcast. I am your host, Marcus Stewart. You can find me on all social media platforms at _Minister Marcus. As I said, I got some special guests on. So ladies first. Got the doctor back on. Come on, introduce yourself, please.
Hello, hello. I am Dr. Alicia McKinzy, mental health therapist and owner of Purposely Poised Counseling and Consultants PLLC. Thank you, Minister Marcus, for inviting me back.
Yes, it's good to have you back. It's good to have you back. And we got the co-host is actually well, I don't know what his name is today, but say hi to the Pope, Brother Twan.
Hi, my name is Captain Antoine Stewart. No. Who you gonna call? North Houston Tactical Unit. If you have any security services or license to carry classes, I am the one to call. I'm not gonna tell you where to follow me because I don't like stalkers. But hit that link on the bottom right there, North Houston Tactical Unit. You'll be able to locate me. I'm ready for this topic today, though.
All right.
I said I have to be prim and proper today. I can't be wild and crazy.
You do not have to be prim and proper.
All right, so Antoine, I'm gonna need you to do me a favor. Whatever you got your microphone at, back up out of it.
I don't have no microphone.
Okay, with that, whatever picking your voice up is loud. It's loud. All right. So look, I'm glad to have both of y'all on. We got the good doctor on. She gonna try to put us on the right path. And then we got Brother Twan on, and then you got me, the innocent great.
Got me.
All right.
Okay.
So I'm gonna start off this conversation before we go any further. I just need to say,
don't say nothing about no traffic. Here we go again.
I was driving on the freeway today, and somebody for real, somebody just rolled up on the side of me, and they was like they're gonna pass me up, and then they got right there, and they just stayed right there.
We have to do this every time.
Oh, he talks about traffic each time you come together?
He talks about traffic or somebody's driving every single episode.
Bruh,
it starts off like this every time.
The point is, Houston, y'all need to use y'all blinker or pass the person up. If you in your car and you look over to your left or your right and you riding the same speed limit as somebody, that means somebody behind you is trying to get around and you holding up traffic. So I'm gonna just leave it right there.
I do agree with it.
I'm gonna leave it right there. Thank you. All right, so let's start out today's topic. Well, I'm not even gonna say today's topic. The first question, I'm gonna just throw it out there, and it's gonna lead to the extra. But let me ask the question: how important is age in relationships? Like, are we out of bounds with this? Too young, too old? Like, what's too young? What's too old?
It's definitely a too young. It's not a too old. Not for me in any way.
Can you explain that?
This is only my opinion. I can't speak for nobody else. Too young. If you are above the age of 25, 18 is still young. Let me just say.
If you're above the age of 25,
above the age of 25, 18 is still too young. Of course, anything below that is too young. But if you're at 25, you need to be looking for somebody your age or around your group or older.
Okay.
My opinion. Now, for men though, I feel like there's not an age limit on too old. For young women, I think there is an age limit on too old.
Okay, wait a minute. Hold on. Alicia, did you understand that?
I understand what he's trying to imply. Um, However, I believe
Comma.
it goes both ways. You're saying for guys, there's no limit to too old.
Agree?
Hold on, hold
Yes.
on. Yo,
Your mic just went out.
say that again, Doc.
I was answering, and I know that I hear you where you're saying for men it's not. I guess the stereotype has been for women it comes off as this sugar daddy kind of weird connotation. Um, but I think it goes both ways. For one, I think anything in the teen era is too young for
Mm-hmm.
anybody. I'm in agreement with that piece. Um, I'm just not in agreement with for men it's no such thing as too old, but for women it is. I think while love is love, I do think we have to sometimes be mindful of age because depending on the age gap, the differences are going to be very huge. The similarities may or may not even exist. um the conversations, like what conversation can you truly have with somebody that you have a major age gap with? The interest might not even be the same. The only thing we might have is the physical appearance. Outside of that, what will you have with someone with a extremely large age gap for
So
either?
just speaking from experience, I think there was conversation there, intellectual conversation actually,
Okay.
because that person was six figure making nurse
How much? How
practitioner.
much? How much of a gap are we talking though, bruh?
I mean, she was 50 and I was like
Oh,
23,
in this
24.
case, she was older.
She was
Yeah.
older.
But that didn't now if they were bummish and they were older, then I understand there's no communication. Not I mean no real conversation. It's just a understanding type of situation. But there was actually good conversation and things that I learned from the individual. So it wasn't I don't think that I think we had a we I mean it wasn't just a physical thing. It was good conversation. It was I just couldn't get over certain things. We don't have to go back into it, but
You know the,
it was.
certain
I
thing
don't
we
feel like
ain't talking
it
about.
was a too old situation. Now, one of the things that irritated me was her having a mental
She had
stigma
a
in her mind that people, but people might be looking at you like I'm your mama, or I bet they nobody ain't paying attention to that. That's all in your head.
I
Okay.
guess.
Go ahead.
Well, look, I would say this. I would say
Okay.
for older women, I don't know. I've never talked to no older woman, so I don't know. The oldest was like maybe a year or 2 years older than me, or like maybe 3 or 4. So that's not really like a gap. I'm talking like a 10-year difference. So I can't agree with you what you said, Alicia, though, Dr. McKenzie. I can agree with what you said when you said like how many conversations can you actually have? So like if I'm 30, like I'm 38, like what would I be talking about with a 25-year-old
Right.
besides sex?
Right.
Because you
And
have
don't
no
get me
real life
wrong.
experience.
There might be some instances where it's not that much of a issue, right?
Yeah, you're
But
right.
there are a great percentage of moments where it may be an issue because it's just there's nothing there. There's even if I think about me, if I was single, there's nothing I could rightfully engage in a conversation with anybody 25 years old. Like there's absolutely no way I could do that, knowing that
Right.
I have a teenage boy and my nephews may or may not be older than you. Like that's
Yeah,
Yeah, but
that's
see,
anybody younger, I don't think the mindset is nowhere near where I feel like I'm on a whole different level from that age group.
yeah, but
And
no, wait.
let me
If
hold on.
she 50, bro,
Hold on. Let me say this. Think about me though. At the young age that I was still an old mindset type of
you
person.
I can definitely
Where
tell
I
you
didn't
this: you
go
need to
out. I
turn
wasn't
your Wi-Fi on whatever device that you are on, brother,
more
because you
you more
pixelate.
pixelated than I am, but let me turn it on for you.
Thank you.
All
But
right.
anyway,
So I was saying I had an older mindset.
see what I'm talking about?
It's not me this time.
It's brother Torn. He talking about everybody else with cricket, and he got Mickett or Smicket.
It's who you gonna call?
No, but I will say this. You know what I did want to address though? What you
What?
said.
Mhm.
I was gonna ask you because if he's 25 and the woman is older than him, normally the woman would want to. Normally the woman would want to talk to someone older than her,
Older than
right?
her.
So for a woman to engage with a guy that's younger than her, what what is the mindset on? That's just mostly physical to me, or that's a kink or something.
I think, but then we can say it's a kink both ways. So that's why I it's like I'm contradicting myself because I do believe that love is love. However, right? I think we do have to be mindful of the ages. I don't know. It could be something psychological for you to be 50 years old seeking somebody that's 22, 23. But then I can say the same thing of a 50-year-old guy who is seeking a 26, 28-year-old woman, even 30. Like, I mean, there's people out here who are having babies with women who are the same age as their daughters. Like that's a bit much, right? But again, love is love, but it we just have to look at it both ways. We can't say it's great for a guy to date somebody super old, but then have a contradicting piece when we say but women can't. Like it's the same thing. Both of you can run into the same issue.
Okay, well, Antoine, I had asked her the question basically pertaining to a woman dating
No,
younger.
I picked it up. Yeah, I picked it up.
Okay, okay.
I picked up from her
did you
response.
fix your cricket? Did you fix your cricket service?
Man, I put it on Wi-Fi and it started buffering everybody.
Y'all are lethal.
Yeah. So go to that room that you was in the last time, bro. Like
Oh,
that
let
was a
me go
really
to that
good room
room.
that you was in.
Boom.
But no, you
Oh,
had
it's the same
white
place.
stuff. You had white stuff in the back with flowers or something.
That's the same. I was just on this side.
Oh, all right. All right. Okay. Well, look, the question was as far as like the intellectual and Alicia, you did add a really good to me. That was a really good piece about the conversation. Like once the physical is done, what are we really going to talk about? And are we really having like
What are we talking
uh s-
about?
intellectually stimulating conversation between two people? I can definitely say, look, I was talking to a girl that was like 10 years younger than me, and while she couldn't like go with me on my deep end conversations, like I was okay with having the normal regular 25-year-old conversation because at that time I was like almost mid 30s. And
Mhm.
so the conversations wasn't really deep, but it was cool, but it was more so
So,
circled around the physical. So
have you ever felt like you had to dummy yourself down for the person you were talking to?
I'm not gonna say at that point because she might be watching, so I'm not gonna say dummy myself down, but definitely the conversations was not. They wasn't like we couldn't talk about money. We couldn't talk about like business. We couldn't talk about like certain things that I was really into at that time. You know what I'm saying? I was talking about what she
So,
was into, and I could
so
identify
it's
because
that it's
I've
that
been there.
part. It's that part for me. If I have to dummy myself down for conversation,
But do you
then
consider that as dummying down though?
in the specifics and what I'm saying, I had to come down to a level of minimal conversation, like you're saying. Couldn't I used to try to look up a word in dictionary, use that word during the day. Couldn't use those words because you didn't understand what I was saying. Couldn't use big words because you didn't understand what the definition was.
Yeah, she was
It
just
was those
airheaded.
kind of things. So you have to. Which go ahead, doctor.
No,
I'm
I'm not
telling you,
saying anything. I'm
we're
processing
not
it. I'm
politically
processing.
correct, so I know some people will feel some kind of way, but
No, but okay.
the
Here's my
truth.
question:
Go
But
ahead.
why did you let it get to that point? If you knew that there was no way you could have an intellectual conversation with this person, why did you even let it get to the point to where you're pulling a dictionary? You should have just been like, I can't do this.
I should have. And I stated today, I told my wife today that there's certain people that should not have even had access to me.
Yeah.
I didn't know my value and my worth until my later age. When I learned my value and my worth and who I was and what I have to offer myself, let alone other people, then I started limiting who all is. And
Who get to
it probably
experience it.
didn't come or clear picture view until 2 years ago maybe, or when I started my business. Then I became to know who I was, what I had to offer, and I realized that I cannot allow a lot of people in my circle. And my brothers will tell you, I wasn't even going
Wait, wait,
around the
wait, wait, wait.
family for a long time.
Wait. Hold on.
That's fair.
So look, to your point, Alicia, why would you let it get that far? But look, let me say, 2 years ago, bro, 3 years ago.
Two
Come on,
years
that
ago,
mean that mean you was just like
trying to figure it
you
out.
was just throwing it on the crap table and like
No,
whatever you
no, no,
come
no,
up with.
no. No, not throwing it on the crap table. I would say again, trying to figure it out. I used to be Captain Saver. What? Sometimes, not all the time, but
Captain
sometimes.
Save a Hoochie.
And not even just that, but I felt the need to help. Right? Some situations I was supposed to be. It was supposed to be an assignment, and I'm going a little spiritual. It was supposed to be an assignment. I was supposed to help out. I wasn't supposed to impregnate. I wasn't supposed to have a whole relationship. Some of those situations were supposed to be for what it was in that moment. But
Oh,
I
all right. So look,
I was
That's
me.
fair.
no. Let's do this. No, let me say I disagree 100%.
You
A
can't tell me my truth
relationship,
though.
look, that ain't no truth. You was psyching yourself out.
You
A
can't tell me my
relationship,
truth.
a
You can't tell
relationship
me my truth.
is never about being on an assignment. This person is not an assignment. This is supposed to be your person, your partner. Like, okay,
Pause.
Doc,
Pause.
wait a minute, Doc.
Pause.
Wait,
Pause.
he's saying pause. Clear. He needs to clear something up for you.
Yes. Let me be clear with what I'm telling you, because
Yeah,
you
because
can't tell me
I
my
don't see
truth.
no, I don't see,
If if
I
if
don't
this
see
person
no
was if
assignments.
this person was set in my perimeter, in my view, for whatever reason, if I decided to, we have freedom of choice. If I decided to move forward with a relationship when that wasn't even supposed to be my reason for being in that person's life, then I put myself in that situation. If
I
I
get what you're
allowed us
saying.
to get, if I allowed us to get to the point to where we were intimate and have a kid because I didn't do the proper things I need to do, well, I wasn't supposed to be doing in the first place, then I put that on myself. So what I'm saying is, some of these people, and I want to be specific what I'm saying because I don't want to offend anybody because Dr.
Yeah,
McKinzy is on.
you
Stop
already
If
out
you,
doing
there.
that.
no, I'm just messing. I'm gonna do it the whole show. I'm gonna do it the whole show. I'm just messing with you. But if 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 I would have known what I've learned over the last couple of years, I wouldn't probably even have as many kids as I have. I have four. I probably wouldn't even have that many kids. I probably wouldn't have been married the times I've been married as many times. I probably wouldn't have certain situations or relationships that I've had in the past because they wouldn't even had access to me.
Okay, so right. Okay, so look, I agree with what you're saying. I do, and I understand what you're saying. I
But
guess no, ain't no but. My comment was directed at. I don't think when you go and you're right, you the one that took it to that extreme when it probably wasn't even supposed to go to that extreme. So
yeah,
I understand
like
what you're
she was
saying.
saying, I allowed it to get to that point. Why did I
Right,
allow it to get to that point? That was my
right.
decision, my choice. Go
Right.
ahead.
But I was basically speaking at the fact that if you choose a person because you feel like it's your job to help them to get somewhere that they are not, that's not a real relationship. Like that's what I was talking about. I was figuring
Okay, so that was a problem
that
with
was a
me.
wrong
I
reason
had to.
to choose that person.
Yeah, I get it. I just said that. That was a problem with me. Maybe I
Right.
was
That's why I said I agree.
attracting people that had a need or people that felt like they had low self-esteem. Now, I'm not saying this because I don't want to point nobody out. Maybe I felt in that time they needed a listening ear or
All right.
somebody had.
All right, hold on. Doc, you look like you got a whole lot of stuff to say over there, and I definitely want to hear it. Come
Yeah,
on,
I
let's
want to hear.
let's
Okay,
let's hear it.
come on.
Um, Okay. First, we use the word assignment. It was not an assignment. Okay. Um, and I hear you. I totally agree with you in the sense of, you've made choices. You probably wasn't where you wanted to be. And so you kind of went on this path of unknowing, right? Being with these people. I think I'm stuck at the that may have low self-esteem. Like what is it that you felt you could offer them that no one else could in that moment?
Mm-hmm.
Confidence.
Mm-mm.
So you can offer
That's what it was.
a
Wow.
woman confidence,
You will be surprised.
enlighten
Look at
me.
me. Look at me. Look at you. That's how the mindset was back
Oh
then.
no, he's not talking about you, sweetheart.
No, I'm
No, no.
not talking about you. I'm not. She look dark. No, I ain't talking about you. I'm saying that was the mindset. I have stories. We have stories on top of stories, which is what I'm telling you. There's some
Woo, she was
women.
about to let you have it, boy.
There are some women who, at some point in life, may not have felt sure about themselves or confident about themselves. And there was probably nothing even wrong with them, but they've
Yeah.
been kind of beat down, maybe talked bad to, maybe told they're not pretty or they couldn't
Mhm.
uh, be with somebody like this. In those moments, if my encouraging or my compliments were taken with flattery and then it continued on with conversation and then that led to maybe going out on dates and then maybe that led into a bedroom which you probably shouldn't have and then maybe that led into a relationship that probably shouldn't have. Those kind of situations sometimes had happened. If I'm being honest
Yeah.
about it, it wasn't just saying let me sit back and look. Oh, she
Can you
got
please
bad.
speak to that though, Dr. McKenzie?
But
She
but
got bad.
but what does that say about your confidence though? If that's
Oh,
who you if that's who you sought out.
I didn't. Well, I don't want to say I sought them out. I think that I just felt as if in some of those situations that's what it was. Now it could have been something with me and my confidence, maybe trying to prove something to myself
Mhm,
during my younger days. But
mhm,
as I got older, that wasn't it at all. I mean, I felt like I had confidence in myself. Felt like I could put whoever I wanted to when I wanted to. And if I couldn't, I was gonna plant a seed until I got it. And I
So
did
that, but
that. And now I'm paying for it 18 years later for one
was
of
that was that basically like was that stroking that was like stroking your ego to do
them.
that? Is that what you that was like stroking your ego to
yeah,
do that? Is that what you were
It
saying,
was.
yeah,
Alicia?
It was. It was an ego
yeah,
trip. It was a straight up ego trip
it
and proving
was.
to myself. Now I'm gonna go a little deeper with y'all. I
Yeah, but
haven't
wait,
shared
hold
this.
on. She didn't
Hold
finish
on,
what she
Marcus.
was about to say.
Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead, because you gonna probably just add something else for me to say more. Go for it.
That's cool. I'm gonna go a little deeper and be honest with y'all and transparent.
Uh-huh.
At one point in time in
Thank you
my
for
life,
doing that on
I
my
was
show. That's right.
looking for
You gay.
I was looking for
You
the
like men.
void to be filled.
So
And
you
what I mean
sought it
by
out
that
in
is
men.
I had a stepdad, but he wasn't my biological father.
Okay.
I didn't know
Right,
my
right, right. Okay.
biological
Oh,
father.
you take it real deep.
And then I was searching for him and I couldn't get information from my mother. And
Okay.
then when I finally was, in that between stage, I felt like I had everything I wanted and needed, but I didn't know who that was. So I was trying to fill my void with women, not with the proper
Oh, I
steps
see.
of adding God and then figuring out the rest, or actually finding my dad and then filling out the rest. I was adding women into that, trying to fill out that void, and that wasn't working. Obviously, when I really realized it, I was like, "Oh, yeah, this is what the problem is. It's me. It's not
Mhm.
you. It's me."
Yeah.
That's when that statement is real. It's not you. It's me.
Right.
So,
And I hear,
and
and
then
so thank you for your transparency.
yeah,
But then have you, if you went in feeling that they had maybe low self-esteem, confidence, you went in searching based on whatever you was internally experiencing,
uh-huh.
but how do you feel that left them? That didn't help if they was
Oh,
already coming into the relationship with their own insecurities and then
I gotta
being
agree
Yeah.
with her.
left with
Now,
children.
Come on, say that. I gotta agree with her, and I'm not trying
yeah,
to. I'm really not. I'm not trying
yeah.
to
I
agree,
mean,
but
I
I
I'm
agree
just
agree
with her
with you.
too.
asking.
I agree with her too. But I feel as if when I finally realized what I had
Uh-huh.
done and the hurts that I've caused different people, I apologized to God, asked
Okay.
for forgiveness, and I went to anybody that I felt like I've hurt individually, including mothers of kids,
Uh-huh.
ex-wives, whatever, and apologized to them. Now, whatever happened after that, I don't have nothing to do with me. As long as I do what I'm supposed to do as a man, which is take accountability, accept my fault and my wrong, and try to be a better man. After that,
Okay.
then the rest of that's between them and God.
Okay.
I feel as if everybody is healed except for one person. I don't know if that's because of me or because of life itself, but um, I've asked forgiveness and God has forgiven me, and I've released that. So I
Yeah.
understand what you're saying. It probably could have left them hurt or at a worse place, but I honestly feel like me coming into anybody's life that I've come into contact with, it has grown them in some areas. Maybe it have hurt them in other areas, but it have grown them in some areas. Yes, I can. If we talking
I
about
was about to
Y-
say
Your
something.
confidence is immaculate.
it's the truth. It's the truth. I can tell you if you should be able, I should be. I can identify the growth that has happened in each individual person who I guess who I took serious. Let me say that. I feel as if
I feel like Alicia has something to say
go
right
ahead.
then because that face just
Yeah,
it
I
said
see it.
it said a
Go
lot.
ahead.
I was
Okay.
gonna go somewhere else, but when I saw the face, I want to hit. We gotta
And
hit
I'm
it.
okay, and I'm working on it. That's
I
an
like it
area
though.
of growth for me.
I like it. That's why it's good the camera
The
is right
face,
because
yeah,
we can
that's an
see it.
area of growth. So I apologize in advance. Um, I want us to kind of go back a little bit.
Okay.
I I am that's amazing that you feel that strongly about yourself and the energy that you put out into the universe. I will not knock that. That's amazing. I'm struggling a bit though for you to assume that your placement in someone's life outside of your own is
Uh-huh.
a reason that they have evolved. Can you have a role in
Yeah,
where your destination is going? Yes.
that's all
But
I'm
you
saying.
strongly believe that you're the reason they have evolved and have
Not
grown.
not 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 in totality. Not in totality. I'm saying I played a part in their lives that have grown them in some areas. So it
Okay.
could be in one area. It can be in maybe in self-esteem area. It could be in maybe they didn't have a business mind at first. Now they have a business mind. It could be any of those things in whatever area that my purpose was for them at that time, that in that season.
But why
It
couldn't your
don't have to be
purpose just be to just love them? Why do your purpose
Mhm.
have to be to define something within them? Why couldn't it just be
To
to
love
just
them and
love
treat
this
them right.
person? That's it.
Right.
Now
I'm
you
That's
have
not
why.
saying it can't.
assignment without saying assignment.
Right. See, no, that's what I was. That's what I was pointing to. Now, I'm not trying to be on nobody's side, but I'm just saying when I was saying earlier, as far as should nobody be your assignment, I'm not choosing. I'm not looking for a wife or a girlfriend to say,
Right.
you know what, she needs help. Let me help her. I would look at her as like, okay, well, maybe I want to have sex with her, or maybe she wants to have sex with me, or like, but it's never to the extent of where I'm looking to, man, she needs help. Let me go and be there
Yeah.
to help her. No,
So
that's not
y'all,
a, you know what?
y'all, you mean to tell me
But
you
no,
guys
look,
have never experienced seeing somebody in need, whether male or female, seeing somebody in need and feeling like if you have the capability to pull them out of that place
I can do
and
that
you didn't do that.
I've
without
done
getting in
that
a
without
relationship.
him being my boyfriend.
Again, y'all both saying the same thing, but I'm saying that was y'all story. My story is I did that for a while and then that turned into more
It
than it
turned
should have
into
been.
something.
That's
Yep,
what I'm
I
saying. Now,
I get it.
whatever happened in between that time again, I'm not
Okay.
saying none of a lot of stuff shouldn't have happened in a lot of situations. I shouldn't even
Mhm.
put myself in a lot of situations. That's me taking accountability. But I'm saying I realized over time that that's what happened. I realized over time that I saw that some people had this need and I felt like I needed to go save them.
That's fair.
Once I realized that I can't save everybody, and I don't even have the capability to save nobody really without God's help anyway. I can't. I. Who am I? That's kind of what I had to humble myself to. Like you're saying, my confidence. You know. how do I feel like I help them get to this certain place? I feel like they've grown in whatever area. Now, if some people reverted back to what they used to be and used to do, it's between them and God. But I honestly I feel like everybody has key things about them that if you're in a relationship with somebody, you could take something from and learn from. Whether it's something
Yeah.
that you learn that you're not gonna allow or not
Yeah, I
do
agree with that.
or do. I take from you and say, okay, I'm gonna be better in my next situation, or I'm not gonna allow this to happen no more, or I'm not gonna be like this anymore.
Yeah.
I think that adds value to you. Not it doesn't take anything. It doesn't diminish you.
I completely agree with that piece of it. That's not how you were stating it at first.
Okay, well I misstated.
And I'm not saying you had to say it correctly. I'm saying you were saying it as if these women were projects for you, and then you've left your
Oh,
mark because they've changed something as a result of being with you because you was the answer to all
I'm
answers.
I'm I'm still kind of saying that, but just not like that.
Okay. All
I'm
right.
not saying I'm not.
All right. Thank you for your transparency.
No, 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 no. I'm just playing. I'm just playing. I'm just playing. I'm just playing. I left a mark, but I'm not saying it's all because of me that now they are at that they've evolved. No, I'm not saying.
Yeah,
I've
well,
left
you
some
know
type
what?
of influence on on every single person.
Okay.
Everybody should feel like that. Are we gonna ever talk about the topic that I sent you, Marcus?
Bruh, I was finna move on to something else, but like, bruh, like that
No,
was
go
too
ahead.
juicy for me to pass
Let's
up.
go and
No,
talk
no,
about
no. That was,
what you got.
I don't even remember what I was gonna say because of what you said. That made me turn it around and come back. So, I mean, like, bruh. All right. So look, this is the topics that you sent me. um, you should. I'm assuming that the
Look at
question
him.
that
He
you was
can't
going.
read. He was reading
I'm
and couldn't read.
because look, you should divulge a few things before even starting to date. So I'm trying to phrase that as a question. That was a statement. So the question to that would be, what things do you feel, or since the doctor is on, what things need to be? I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Okay. It's okay.
All right. What things need to be divulged even before starting the day? I
Oh
think I
yeah.
want to ask that question a different way though. I wanna say should there even be that kind of conversation like when we're starting to say, let's say, because I see dating. Well, okay, let me ask a prequel to that question. Do you think that dating should always lead to like a relationship, or is dating being in a relationship? Because I see dating as I'm going out with you, but that's not necessarily a relationship yet. That's like the prequel to a relationship. You get what I'm saying? So are we having these deep conversations about future things, or like,
Well,
I don't
well, I
see
think
dating
that
as that. I see it as like we
to start
just
off, I think that should be
companionship.
divulged. I think that should be divulged to start. What is your intent of dating? Are you just
Yeah.
dating to date? Are you dating for marriage? Are you
Right.
what are we doing?
Right. And that's
Should
why
you be No, go ahead, go ahead.
that's why I'm glad you finally you said something I can agree with, my brother.
Wow.
Um, yeah, because no, that's what I was gonna say too. Like we need to first know what the intentions are because if you are just casually dating multiple people, and I'm specifically dating to get to a point in my life where this is my person, then we really need to discuss that, whether it's the first dinner or the second dinner. We need to discuss it before we get to a third or fourth dinner. Because if
Listen,
I'm one of the 4 dates this week, then that's not for me. I'm gonna kindly say
Gotcha.
thank you for dinner, but no thank you for the next dinner, right?
listen,
Yeah, right,
listen.
right.
I had a whole different mindset prior to my wife. My wife told me I'm a wife, not a girlfriend. So if you want to date, then just do that.
That's it.
I was like, how am I supposed to know that you're the person if I'm not dating multiple people? I want to date multiple people and then decide who's supposed to be with me. That
No, because we're
yeah,
supposed to
so
marry to date, not date to marry.
yeah, so that's what she was on. I wasn't. I was on trying to figure it out first, and
Yeah, but wait,
then
hold on. So wait, let me see if I can understand this. So when you go to date someone, so like I guess what you guys are saying is when you go to date, you should already be deciding, okay, I'm dating to find the person. I'm dating to find the person,
or you just
or
dating, or you just
I'm
Or
dating
you
just
to
dating.
just
hang out.
dating to have a good time.
Yeah,
Okay, okay, okay.
and
Yeah.
then be
Because
honest with that statement.
Because
You'll
then
be
I should have
surprised.
the right to tell you
Yeah,
I'm not a good time girl. So if you're
yeah.
looking for somebody to kind of go to the clubs with and do all the things, that's not me. So then you're wasting your time.
My wife
And
over
I'm
here
wasting.
waving her hand in agreement with you, Dr.
Hey girl,
McKinzy.
hey.
She over here waving her hand like, yeah, she's agreeing with you. But seriously, if you're going in just to have a good time, I think that should be told because some people have a different intent and they
Right.
don't want to date with somebody who's dating other people or just going to hang out. They can do that at home, or
so
they
that should
can
be
value their time. You won more than anybody that's talking about time and how important your time is, and you don't
oh
waste
yeah,
your
yeah, yeah. No, no,
time.
no. I
Exactly.
get it. I get it.
So we need to respect other people's time
Other
and
people's
being
time.
honest with that information up front. You
Yeah.
ask them. Go ahead.
No, but I'm not trying to cut you out.
It's okay. Go ahead. Say what
Should
you're going to
but
say.
I'm saying that should be one of the first phone conversations. Like we not
Yeah.
going on a date talking about that. Like that's
Yeah.
something
Oh
we did
yeah,
already
yeah.
talked about on the
Yeah.
That
phone.
should
That's
be
via
that
phone.
should be
Yeah.
definitely on the phone.
Yeah.
All right.
But the oh go ahead.
No, but you was finna get to the question: what things should be divulged before dating? You talking about the prequel conversations before we go on a date?
Yeah,
Kids,
definitely.
disease,
How many kids you have?
transitions.
Wait. Before you get there, how many kids you have? Do you want more kids? Those are two major things. Some people don't want to date somebody who have kids. Some people don't want to date somebody who wants more kids. Some people like
True.
I want more kids, and they like I can't have any more kids, or I don't want no more kids for whatever reason. So before y'all even go down this whole long dating process, and we get too deep in love, and then we get to the point of wanting to get married, and now we're having this conversation, it's a major issue that's going to come up.
But normally people do have the kid conversation.
Yeah.
I would
They
definitely
have, well,
say
Yeah.
I've heard they don't want to come out and just be open with how many kids they have and they have children until they know if they even like this person yet. And I feel like that's wrong because now I can like you and I can enjoy our time, and then when we have the kid conversation, it can change my whole outlook on if I even want to be with you.
yeah,
Because
I
if
was
I
gonna
have
say
four
it.
kids, if I have four kids and you have four kids, it's not fair, but it's my mindset. If I have four kids and you have four kids, that's eight. Plus you, plus me, that's 10. I'm responsible now for 10 people. Financially, that doesn't make sense to me. If you have anything under that, we can work with. But anything that and above,
I think that's
it
called
doesn't
a
work.
true double. I think that's called a true double standard.
And it
But
is.
look,
It is.
that's not
It is.
that's
But
not
it's
what I was
mine.
going with that.
That's not
Where
what
I
you
was
see.
going with that was I was going with like I don't think that the conversation as far as like the first conversation, I think people will normally ask the whole kid. That's like one of the first things. Okay, do you have kids? How many kids do you have? Do you want to have more? I was gonna go more so to the point of sometimes a person would say, no, I don't want to have more kids, but then they get in a situation where the whole family ordeal,
Everything
it could
changes.
change their mind.
That
I mean,
depends on
yeah,
how much you love this person. So it ain't going.
I
It
don't
doesn't.
think it depends on.
You don't think it? You don't
What
think
do you
that
think,
love?
Alicia?
Hold on. Let me ask the question
I don't
first,
care
and
how
then
much
y'all
I love a
answer.
person. I don't want to have no more kids. Period.
Hold on.
Love
So
ain't gonna
your
change
mind.
that.
I'm saying if you already have your mind stuck on I don't want no more kids, right? Your mind is already
Right,
made up. You don't want no more kids. You had that conversation. I don't want no more kids. She go in understanding you don't want no more kids.
right.
After look, let's say after you go into a relationship, y'all going on and on and on, and then the love starts to bond to the point to where I'm not saying this is you. I'm saying some people may get to the point to where they like, you know, you initially said you wanted that. I want to give you that because that's what you wanted, and now I want that too. I'm not gonna just do it because you want it, but I want the same thing that you wanted. It can sometimes change your mind after being with that person, but I mean, I'm saying that can happen. You don't think that can happen? You saying no because that's your opinion for
Nah,
you.
I mean, I think it could happen, but love ain't gonna change my mind on something. Like it's like this. I ain't never gonna be broke again. So love ain't that's one of the some stuff love I can love you, but I'm not going down that road with you no matter how much I love you. Like a whole kid, that's a 20-year commitment, son. Love ain't gonna no. That's an absolute no. Alicia, please chime in. I feel like we just running our mouth and
And I'm letting
you
y'all,
getting
because
real
I'm like,
patient.
yep, because I have to bring some enlightenment here.
Please do.
I do think that I do agree. You should ask about kids. You should ask about whether or not you want more kids. But I also feel that that is a conversation that we're probably having on the phone, right? I do not think that that's a conversation we should have over dinner, because we should have already talked about this. Because
Right.
again, I'm at an age in my life to where I'm not having any more children. So if I was a single woman and I'm out there dating, that's a non-negotiable for me. I'm not having any more children.
But what
So
if you fall in love? What if you fall in love?
I'm not having any more children. So for me, that's a conversation that I would have over the phone. We don't even need to go to dinner, because if you already saying you want more kids and I'm standing firm on no, so then I don't need to waste your time, because you don't, if it's love, I don't need you falling in love with me, because I'm not having any more children, right? So I do think that that conversation is important, but that's not a dinner conversation. That's not a first date conversation. That's when we're talking about what's your intentions. That's one of those questions that you ask. What I do believe that we should ask while we're sitting on a first date is, what is your idea of a committed relationship? Do you have a desire to be married? If you do have a desire to be married, what are your thoughts about what marriage looks like? What are the expectations that you have for a wife, right? Because then that's the other piece. I went to school too many years to sit at the house. So if you're looking for someone that's going to be a housewife, I'm not your person, right? Because it's not about I make my money, you make yours. It's the idea of I love what I do. Now, if some medical things arise and I have to stay home, then yes, I want to be able to know you got me. However, my process, again, this is me. We can't talk about being helpmates, but then you're covering everything. So for me, and because I love what I do, I'm going to work. But if your idea of marriage is based on your upbringing in which your mom stayed home all day, then that's a conversation we need to have, because I'm going to tell you up front, that's not what I plan on doing.
All right. So is that in response to the comment about the kids plus the parents being 10 people that he has to be responsible for?
All of that, because all of that, we already talked about that.
Right.
That's not what I'm bringing on the first date, because I've already either continued talking to you on the phone, or I've already blocked you, because I don't want any more children, right? And so we've already been past that. So if you're still on that, where no, I want more kids, you have 4. If you on that still, there is no first date with me, because there's other questions we need to get to.
I blocked somebody because I realized it wasn't going anywhere, and they called me from a private number. They need to come see you for mental issues.
Okay, so I am accepting clients.
She's accepting clients.
But seriously, so yes, I think the kid thing is important, right? But I think we've already talked about that. We've already decided this is not going anywhere. So now once we get to first date, there are some additional things that we need to talk about to even determine if there's now going to be a second date.
Okay,
yeah,
so
I gotta agree with that.
I had the conversation before, but I didn't stop it at that point. So then when the conversation came up later, it became an issue.
Of course.
And I felt
Why wouldn't you stop it? Why wouldn't you stop it though? Like, okay, so look, this is one of the areas, Alicia, where me and Antoine disagree. I think as a man, your standards should be the same for everybody. Antoine bases his standards based on how he feels about, right, on the person, which I think that's a slippery slope for me. So I think off the muscle, everybody that I meet, this is the standard, right? And the requirements are the same. I like the same stuff. I don't like the same stuff. I don't care who you are. This is gonna be it.
Yeah.
But with that statement, my response would be, why wouldn't you stop it immediately? Because you already know where you, and no matter how much you care, that's not going to change. So that's with me. So when you say that, I think I understand what you're saying, but I just wanted to clarify.
What happened in that situation? She had degrees. I like that. She made money, her own money. I like that. I
There you
felt
go.
business wise we could cohabitate and work some stuff out to actually build some stuff. And the only negative at in that moment was that she wanted another kid, and I didn't. But I was honest about it up front. So I didn't feel like that was enough because she didn't walk away from it in that moment. I didn't feel that was enough for me to turn around and say, well, because you want kids and I don't want kids, then I'm just gonna be done with the whole situation.
That's
I didn't feel
definitely
like that was
done.
enough.
Absolutely, you should have.
Yeah, I didn't
Why?
feel like
Why do you say he should have, Alicia?
Because again, we're wasting each other's time. If you guys were compatible in business, then she should have just been your business partner. Done.
so.
We
There,
don't have to
there
be in a
was
relationship.
the part of this
Business
conversation
with
was
benefits. That's what you should have said. Business with benefits.
there was a time too where I would have been open to possibly having one more, but this person wanted two more or didn't want a limit on how many more could happen.
Oh yeah.
I,
See, you
that
almost
was,
saved it. You almost saved it with the first comment when you said you was almost open. So at that point, you could have been like, "Well, I don't know if I want to have another one." But then when you say
Yeah.
two
she
and three.
pushing the boundary, come on, bro.
Which is why we should have non-negotiables. So that the boundary, you don't have the option to push boundaries.
But
You
again, I had to learn this because it don't matter how good you think a person look. It don't matter how much you think a person has to offer. It doesn't matter how much fun y'all have and chemistry or whatever. These certain topics that you need to talk about initially, again, should be like Marcus is saying the standard, and like you're saying something that we should talk about in the first conversations. If y'all don't have those conversations, and then
Yeah.
later down the line you now starting to talk about it, then you get caught up in a
so
situation
yeah.
where you
So I
wasting
think
time.
we all agree that there are preliminary conversations. I think
Yeah.
we all agree about that. But with the list that you
Preliminary?
gave me, I want to twist it.
What'd you say?
That's a school.
You want to talk about the other part of the other part of the
Yeah, but no,
question?
I'm finna twist it because I think we all get it that we're gonna have these initial conversations. But here's where I want to go with this. So let's say that you meet a person and everything is cool, everything is good. Now I have so many questions about this preliminary sex. Should before
Preliminary.
you start dating, should you be
Preliminary.
casual with anyone? Is it out of bounds to start dating if you already have a casual sex partner? But we're not going there. Here's what I want to go to. I want to go to, let's say you meet a person, y'all have not been sexual yet. Y'all get to, because I don't know if you would bring this up in the phone conversations, but you found out that this person is HIV positive, or you found out this person has a sexually
See,
transmitted
you just
disease
went
that
far to the.
you have
That wasn't the
disease on
question.
the list.
Oh, I
You
said disease. I did say disease. You're right. Okay, come on.
So that's what I'm asking. Look, I'm taking your list,
Okay, go
and
ahead. You're right.
all
That is
right.
one
So
other
look,
thing. You're right.
would do you get put from? Okay, look. Let me answer the question first. So if you're meeting a person and you talk to a person and you find out that this person
Woo.
has a STD that's an unget rid ofable, I don't know. For me, I don't want to do that. The only I think they should have. I think it should. And I please y'all don't send me no inboxes for what I'm about to say. Y'all, I am not politically correct. This is not to go viral, but I think if you have one of those, you should find your own community of people to date that has those, and y'all date amongst each other.
Are
Because
you talking about the letters?
I'm talking about anything that you cannot get rid of. Because and much respect, but that's just I don't know. What do you
We not. No, I
what you want to
understand.
say?
I understand what you're saying, and I agree with what you're saying. If you have a certain group of letters, if they can be
I,
the ones that start with the S or the ones that start with the H or the ones that start with the A, you need to have your own community that you communicate in and meet people in that community. That's what you're saying.
yes, yes.
Facebook
Because
group or whatever. Okay,
yeah,
gotcha.
even if I
So,
even
but
if I
but
do
again,
like
going
you a
back.
lot, that's still not gonna. I don't know, and it's not that I have anything against nobody that has that, but like
No, I
that,
got you. Answer the question though. That should be in the first conversations that y'all talk about.
it
Agree or
should be.
disagree? It
Yes,
should be.
yes,
Not to
yes.
the point to where where y'all meeting, y'all dating, y'all hanging out, and y'all going out, and then y'all get into that hot fiery moment. Then, oh wait, I need to talk to you about something. It shouldn't be that,
But what if
right?
they don't? What if they don't have that conversation until
So that was
y'all
the
see
whole
it going?
point. That was the whole point of sending the question, because that's messed up. If you allow a person to be excited, grow feelings, be hugging and kissing on you, and all these different things, and then y'all get into a heated moment, and then all of a sudden, hey, I got
Yeah,
these things I
we
want to
not
tell
getting into
you.
no heated moments because
I don't,
I'm non.
but you don't
I'm
know
telling
that.
them
But you
off
don't
the
know that.
Yeah,
no,
and
I'm
see, and
non. I'm like we non having sex. Like
I'm
I don't.
biased. I'm
All right,
biased.
go ahead.
I know, and I'm not biased about what you're saying. I hear you. I think I'm biased on. I don't know if that necessarily needs to be a preliminary conversation, and let me tell you why. Let me tell you why. And when you say preliminary, are we on the phone or we've already went to the first date?
I'm saying we already first date, and we
Okay.
haven't had that conversation because they have not brought it up. But if
Okay.
it
So
will come up,
we've already
do it.
had the phone conversation.
Right.
Okay. So then yeah, we could
No,
talk
no,
about
no. Wait. We haven't had the phone. We
you
haven't
haven't
talked
talked
about it
about
at
nothing.
all. Right. Right. And then the conversation comes up on the date, or on first or second date, and then boom, Antoine, you're an
Okay.
idiot.
Okay. I needed to get clarity. So that's why I was saying I was biased. Because if we were just on the phone, then no, we probably have not had that conversation on the phone. Because I mean,
Right.
let's be real. No one is going to disclose that over the phone. They're just
Okay.
not, because you guys just met. There's a lot of things that you're not going to disclose about yourself over the phone.
Okay.
Right. Now when we come face to face, then yes. So that's why I was saying bias, because I thought we're doing all this over the telephone. I mean, we have to be honest. People not doing that. They're not going to go into their personal anything, because they don't even know if they're going to call you back later, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Yeah. Right. Right.
But
Right.
you are right. Once we are at the point of we're dating and we're at the first or whatever, then yes, I think that needs to come up, because then now you can't choose for me if I want to stay in this. I have to be able
So
to know if we're going
are you
forward.
saying the first date, or are you saying after multiple dates and you decide, okay, now I want to be exclusive with you? Now you have the conversation. Are you saying the first date, or after you finally want to be exclusive, if that
Okay.
comes to that point?
Again, this is hypothetical, but I'm
Yeah,
saying
all
after.
hypothetical. We just talking.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm saying after we've been on multiple dates, so we've developed some type
That
of
this is we're
connection
gonna
and
be each other
chemistry.
person. Yeah.
Yes. And then the conversation comes up to it. Well, boom.
Ooh,
I'm still done.
Yeah.
I'm
I mean,
itching already
actually,
just thinking
I
about it.
gotta make a
you
left.
should definitely be done if that's not what you're feeling. I just, hypothetical or not, we also have to be realistic. It's just certain things that people are not disclosing at certain points. Do I think it needs to be early on before it gets to some level of chemistry? Absolutely. But you're not thinking realistically if you thinking that while you guys are having your first dinner wherever it is, they're gonna be like, oh, and by the way, they're not gonna do that. This is why
Right,
you
right.
find so many issues where people are trans and they don't know, right? Because
Oh,
So being that you
good
said
point.
that, being that
yes.
you said that,
Don't turn the
the part.
conversation when she ain't finished what she was saying. Like you ain't finished what you was
Oh,
saying.
go ahead.
Uh, thank you. So I'm just saying, because everybody deserves an opportunity to feel desired and wanted, even if it's even if it's temporary, right? And so we all go through these
Yep.
phases where we haven't met anybody, we can't meet people. So that's why I think they're not gonna just say that up front. But
Mm-hmm,
if there
mm-hmm.
is a conversation, we've made the decision that we're going to try to do this, then absolutely you need to tell me, because then I need to make the decision if I want to continue this, or if I'm gonna be like, no disrespect, you are an amazing person, but that I'm not comfortable. I think we can still be friends, but that's the extent of our relationship. But if we thinking they're
Okay.
gonna say that on date one, come on, y'all, that's not being realistic. It's
All
really
right,
not.
Anton, what you got to say about that, Doc?
I agree.
with everything, what you agree with?
I agree with a bulk of what she said. What I disagree with is I know that doesn't happen because realistically, like you're saying, it doesn't happen. I think it should be
It should.
divulged on the first date, face to face, because again, if somebody's being affectionate and if you're kissing, let's just say kissing saliva, you're kissing
Are we
somebody
keeping
else.
people on the first date? We have bigger
I'm not,
issues.
no, I'm not saying no. Let's say, for instance, 2, 3 days. We can say 3, 4 days. You can say as many days as you want to. I'm saying when it gets to
First
a
date is
point
too early to
where
give somebody some lips.
you'll be surprised. But let's say, for instance, lips touch or connect, saliva is exchanged, and there's something that's in your system that can
Yeah,
be transferred through saliva.
yeah,
That should have been
Okay. Yeah,
discussed.
okay. I get your point.
yeah. Now, in that retrospect, absolutely, right?
Like going
Yes.
in for a kiss. Wait.
Yeah,
Going for
right,
a kiss.
right. They definitely should. Again, I'm not disagreeing with the two of you. I'm really not, because I
You
would
just
not
saying
want to be in a
realistically it
position
doesn't
where
happen.
someone has lied. I'm just saying realistically it doesn't happen. So at this point in our
Yeah.
lives, knowing that it doesn't happen, knowing that there are, I don't want to say the wrong term because people get so emotional, knowing
Sensitive.
that
Yeah.
there
I know.
are, again, transgenders, um knowing that things like that are happening where people are not clear on who this person is that they're dating. Is that right? Absolutely not, right? But we are in a world where that is happening. So unfortunately, people are not disclosing. So my hope would be that people not just going into first date relationships trying to sleep them down. What, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying not to say,
Yeah.
but you get what I'm saying. My hope is that you're not going in your first
Yeah.
date trying to do that, knowing that everybody's intentions are not the same, knowing that people lie. So
Yeah,
why
but
would you go
see,
in
this the
talking about
thing.
this because I took you to dinner, I'm about to tongue you down? That's
Yeah,
weird.
but wait.
Hey,
How long have you been married, Alicia? How long have you been married?
Oh my gosh. We have been married for 14 years.
14?
14 years. Yeah, so
That's like a one in front of a
your
four?
dating pool experience is different.
One
Right.
and
That's what I was about to say. Because now in the dating field,
The
so
dating
I've
pool
been
now is different.
right. It's like
It's
it's kind of
accelerated.
extreme.
It's
Yeah.
so is that
accelerated
good
So
or
times
bad?
10 from what it's bad now. From
it's
what you
shock therapy.
experienced or from what your experience was with dating, it's accelerated time 10. And
Yeah,
the short time that I
it's
was
very
in the
It's fair.
accelerated.
dating, the short time I was in the dating pool, the women now are just as aggressive, if not more, than some of the men nowadays. Uh, it's just a different vibe. And if you ain't checking it
Mhm.
at the door, then it ain't no telling where some of these men be end up sometimes. But it used to be the men chasing and saying stuff. Now it's sometimes both, or women
Oh,
saying, "What's up, then?"
All right. Well,
that's
look.
fair.
Hold up.
Let me take a left right here. What you was finna say, brother Torn? Because
Mhm.
I got one. I
No,
got
go
another
ahead. Take the
question. And
left because I'm trying to get to it. Take the left. Go ahead.
I, look, I wasn't gonna go with your line of questioning, but this I don't know what you meant by transition because I have somewhere else I want to go after that. What do you
I'm gonna
mean
tell
by
you
transition?
I'm gonna tell you why I was going with transition. Since you brought up transgender, we're gonna be very careful with us talking about pronouns because I don't know the letters. I don't know
I'm not gonna
uh,
be careful at all. I'm not. Can't nobody cancel
LBGTIQ,
me.
whatever, A, B, C, D, E,
A
F,
B
G.
C D
I'm
element of
saying
P.
I
I'm gonna
saw a
say all of
video.
it.
I saw a video where this guy and this girl had not been intimate. They didn't want to have sex until after they got married. They had been together for 4 months.
Oh,
4 months.
No,
He
that's too
loves her
long.
now. She loves him. And then she reveals that she transitioned
No,
and that
that's too
she's
long.
now
oh.
she's a woman. She used to be a man, now she's a woman. It's
That's
way
too
too
long.
long.
Did they
So
do? Did they do
the
it though? Did they
question,
do it?
they didn't have sex. They're not having sex until marriage.
I'm talking about. So, but when they got married,
They,
then they get
they
ready to
didn't they
do it.
didn't get
Then she
married.
They
tells
didn't
him.
They
get
didn't get
married.
married. They didn't get married. This is
Okay, I
now
missed that
the
part.
conversation happened 4 months later after y'all been hugged up,
No,
being together for 4 months,
no.
kissing,
It definitely
in a
shouldn't be
full
4 months.
fledged relationship.
Mm-mm.
Now she's revealing that she's transitioned.
Yeah, no, it definitely shouldn't be 4 months. But again, that goes back to my point. People don't have the upfront, open, and honest conversations. So if she took 4 months, we can't expect people to do that in date 1.
It was he.
Okay, stop. Because then I almost went
he,
down
she,
that rabbit hole with you.
them. You just say them.
No,
If you
absolutely
say them,
not.
you're safe. If you say them, you're safe.
I'm not going down this rabbit hole with you all. But so it should not have been 4 months. But you also see my point, which is why even when you're dating, you still have to go in taking care of yourself as well, because
so
you
check for
don't
the
know
Adam's apple.
what people's intentions are.
Yeah, I get
Yeah,
what
so
you're
check
saying.
for the Adam's apple every time they swallow.
Let's move on.
Yo, man.
No? Okay.
It's about to go left.
You don't
They
say
gonna ban
Melissa,
me from
none of that?
YouTube. They can't cancel me, but they can ban me from you.
It's about to go left. Next
You can't
question,
get
please.
canceled. You can't get canceled for an
Can't
opinion.
nobody. No, look, they can't count. Nobody
They
can cancel me. They can't take my
they
show.
can
They
ask
can just.
to come on to the show, and we definitely will have an open conversation with them
No.
too.
I'm saying no. I'm saying YouTube can cut my they can
You say
ban me,
no.
but like people can't cancel me because like this is Anyway, all right. This is where I want to go. So both of y'all are married, right? I'm not. But do you think how important is it to be what you say? How important
I said,
is it to be non-sexual before you get married? And is that important or is it not important? Like how important do you think that is?
I mean, we did it. I didn't want to do it, but we did it.
How important do you think it is though? Do you
I
think
think
that
it
was
was
an
important.
important step or not really?
For me, I think that it was an important step that we held true to what she wanted, because I had done that before. I wasn't used to that. Like, you know, if
So
we
how
together,
if y'all
huh?
together what? That come with everything. That come with everything.
Not in every situation, but in most situations that I've been in, and we together, and over time things happen. Things happen, whether we talked about marriage or not. It's just kind of what it was. But with her, it was like, yeah, I don't really want to do that until after marriage, and I respected that, and I actually felt better that I waited for the first time, that we waited until marriage. It felt different. It was good. It was like I had never
How
done
much
that, so it was a new.
how much did that have an impact on your marriage, or did it even have an impact on your marriage? Like that's the heart of the issue.
To
What
be
I'm
honest,
getting to.
I don't think it had an impact. I don't think it had an impact. I think
Right.
I
So
think
that was the question.
I just yeah, I think I just respected what she wanted, and I was glad that I was able to, for the first time, wait until marriage, because it wasn't about sex. It was about
Okay.
everything else. And even though sex is important, it was about everything else. And then when that happened, it was just like, okay, now I understand what was intended. That's just my opinion.
Okay.
Now the difference between doing it before and doing it after, I can't say what the differences was, but I'm just saying I wasn't used to that. I was used to, if it go down, it go down. If it don't, it don't, and I'm okay with either way.
So so on a scale of 1 to 10, how important do you think that it was? Like, so you saying if it didn't affect your relationship after you got married, you glad that you did it, right? So you can see some type of benefit to it. On your scale, on a
Yeah,
1 to 10, how important do you think that it is to be non-sexual completely
are we talking
before you get
spiritual? Or we
married?
talking about regular?
I'm just talking regular general. If you want to take it spiritual, on your
To
scale
me,
of 1 to 10, how
okay,
important
so
do you think it is to be non?
that's two different numbers. Then, if we're talking about
I
on
think it's the
spiritual level,
same.
I think I disagree. I think if we talk
Okay,
about on a spiritual level, it's very
it's a 10.
important to do what they're saying biblically, which is to not have sex before marriage, and that means that it will be 10 important if we're talking about on spiritual level. If we're talking about regular people, everyday people that don't really deal with the Bible in that magnitude, or that it doesn't matter to them in that way, I would feel it was a zero, because again, I'm saying I don't think it was important or not important. It was just that's what she wanted to do, and I said, okay, I'll do that. So I've
Yeah, but
experienced both. I've experienced. Go ahead.
no, but I'm saying on your scale, and I'm not talking
I'm
about
saying
spiritual.
zero.
I'm just saying on
Zero.
your scale, it was a zero then.
I'm telling you, zero. Zero if I'm talking
Okay,
about on my
okay,
scale
okay.
as a regular person. 10 if I'm talking about my scale as a spiritual person.
How is that two different scales?
Because in
All right.
reality, oh, go ahead. Go
Okay,
ahead.
Alicia, go ahead. Go ahead.
If we're looking at a biblical sense, we should not engage in premarital sex, period.
Okay.
So the number can be different, right? Because if we're living by the word truly, then it is important because we both had that standard of wait until we were married. So then it would be a higher number. However, I can see why you're questioning why it's two different numbers. But he's saying to you, based on his experience, it was different because for the first time in his life, he had the opportunity to say, this is not as bad as I thought, waiting until I got married. Because he was in love with this person and this is what she wanted. It goes back to when he was talking about kids. If I love you, I give another baby and all that other stuff. It's the same thing. In this case, he was just talking
Exactly.
about the physical and sexual. This is what she wanted. This is the person that he felt, this is my person. And so I am waiting because this is what she's asking of me. And he's telling you it didn't make or break how he felt about that woman by giving her what she
Exactly.
was seeking. But it also helped him to grow because he recognized I really didn't need to do it this way all this time. But it took me
True.
finding this person to figure out there is a difference between just loving somebody without the sexual stuff.
But
That's
ain't
what he's
this
Agreed.
right? But I'm saying, ain't that the same thing? If you see the significance in it, then wouldn't it be on a higher scale of your level of importance if you see that it's a
I
difference
didn't
and
say.
not doing it?
I know. I'm not saying that there was an importance of it if it was done or not. I'm saying I value the fact that I did it, but it didn't matter if
didn't
we
matter.
didn't do it or if we did do it. It still was going to be the same thing for me. It was going to be the same
Okay.
thing. If we did it or didn't do it, I still was going to end up with her.
Okay.
If we waited until after we got
Look,
married and didn't do it while we was married, I'm still going to be with her.
I understand. I understand what you're saying. I do. I guess I'm not asking the question right, but I do understand both sides. I understand what you're saying. I do. All right. Same question to you though, Alicia. How important do you think it is to be non-sexual before you get married? Do you even think it's important? And then the ultimate question being the last
Yeah, I
question that I
think
asked
I'm gonna be honest.
Brother Twan.
I think it's important just based on where the two people are. And the reason why I say that is because yes, if both of you are trying to live correctly, right? We all fall short. But if the both of you are really trying hard to live by what the true expectations are in the spiritual form, then it's important because we're both on this path of waiting till we get married, right? However, there is a flip because I'm only saying this part as a therapist. What I have seen a lot, however, is that people are not sexually compatible. Had they engaged prior to marriage, they would have known that and they would have been able to put the work in to make sure that when we got married and actually engaged, we was equipped with the tools of understanding what the other person need and or want, and we
That's
will
good.
be with the ability to give them what they need and or want.
Okay, can I ask a question with that?
Sure,
Can't you do that after you get married though?
you can, but again, we have waited. I'm not telling. Okay, people out there, you should wait. So I
I'm
want to
not
make
saying
sure I'm clear on
I'm
that.
not saying to wait or not
But
wait. I'm just trying to
but
play.
but what I am saying is, yes, you can. But if you have been with someone for 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, however long you've been
Oh
married,
hell
and you are
no!
waiting, it doesn't matter, and you are waiting on your night of marriage, and this is really real, like for real. You recognize that you are not sexually compatible with this person. We have to call a spade a spade. One of the main components of a marriage and a relationship is to be able to be sexually active with each other,
I
period.
agree.
And when you recognize that we are not compatible, you recognize this person is not what you desire and or want, and that's what we have to be honest. I don't think people understand that physical attraction and sexual attraction are two completely different things.
Oh,
I can be
you're gonna need to
physically
explain that.
attracted to you and there is no sexual attraction based on what I want and need because you can't give it to me.
Oh, got you.
And so where I'm going with that is
That's a whole different topic. That's a whole different topic. That's
Yeah, but wait a
legit.
minute. But
it's going into his
can I ask a
question.
question?
So for some people,
I want her to finish. I'm just saying that's something that you
for
would need to
some
expound on.
people, the importance level may change because yes, I want to live by the word, but I also need to make sure that it's even worth. We going back to them conversations. I even need to make sure it's worth. There might be some things that I'm into that you're just not
into. Yeah.
You're never going to be into. So then, do I really want to go into a covenant marriage with you, knowing
is that a conversation? That can we have that in conversation? I mean, look, I'm just trying to play both sides. I'm trying to play both sides.
I hear you. I think we need to at least touch the surface of the conversation. We need to talk about what your desires are, right? But I can't tell you how many couples are just not in a good space right now. For one, because we wasn't open and honest about what our sexual desires were.
Yeah, right.
And
right.
or we waited, and then I'm recognizing it's awful.
That it ain't. Yeah.
And we can go to all the counseling that we want, and it's still awful, right? And that's not trying to bash, that's not trying to be, but this goes back to people don't want to have real conversations. So we can't always revert to spiritual stuff because we have to be real.
Right, but that's exactly what I was getting at, though. That's what I was getting at. The conversation of having the conversation. That's what I was getting at. Not necessarily the act of sex. The conversation of this what I like. Can you do this? Are you willing to try this? Are you willing to be free enough to, you know what I'm saying? Like I feel you. So I'm sorry, Antoine. I wasn't trying to cut you off. Hey man, where you going, man? If you start doing these night videos, man, I'm turn your camera. I'm taking him off, man. Look at this, Antoine. You killing my show, man.
He's not. He just regrouping. He's resetting.
So what I want
you fired, nigga.
It's all about a connection. I've been saying this for a long time. Some people don't understand that.
Why is your camera like that, bruh? Alicia, do you see that?
I see it, and I don't hear it.
You don't hear
it.
We don't hear you, nigga. You always talking about somebody with this cricket phone, and you got the worst reception. It's like you in your basement or something, man. Come up out of your dungeon. If you in the man cave, turn the Wi-Fi on. Oh, Lord.
Can you hear me now?
I can barely see
you. Hear me?
Yes. Can't see you, but we can definitely hear you. Oh, now he's in a car. Oh, he's moving.
I'm for all listening. Antoine is really gonna be fired. I'm finna just be doing a show with just regular random people because this is ridiculous.
Oh, wow. I'm fired too. Oh,
Alicia, me and Alicia we gonna do the show next time. Anyway, all right. So Alicia, on a scale of 1 to 10,
you can't even pronounce her name right.
Alicia. Yeah. How important is it on your scale on a 1 to 10? If you were counseling a couple, would you say like how important is that?
How important is engaging?
Yes. Before marriage.
I would say it's only important if there is a difference in how we see where we're going. And what I mean by that is if one person is saying, no, I have to engage before I move forward, and one person is saying no, then that's when I think we can actually compare the importance of it. We both have to first be on the same level in terms of what we want this to look like. So that goes back to having those conversations up front. Like you heard Antoine say, his wife came in saying, I'm not with it, I'm not doing it. So it shifted his thinking to where the importance level changed for him because he loved her. So he's saying, all right, I'm not used to this. but it's important to you, it's going to be important to me. So I think it
Exactly.
first has to come to us both agreeing how we view this. Are you open to doing this now if the moment comes up? Or are we staying strong on not until we get married? Because then that also might change some things too. I might not even want to get married. So now what?
Right.
Uh-oh.
So look, I asked the question because I don't want to give a false sense to women who are abstaining
Okay.
because they feel like, they're gonna get their guy by doing that. Antoine did that, and I think that's top tier of you. But I can't. I can say for a man to say that for himself, but as opposed to, I mean, when it comes to like a woman saying, "I'm just gonna be strictly non before marriage," I don't know. It's a tough question. It's a tough question for me,
I don't think
especially in the
so.
line of work that I do. I think it's a tough question because I would say it's important, but at the same time, you want to see what it's like. Like, it's no way I'm gonna spend the rest of my life with you, and I it's
But
not it's
again, it
not what it
goes back
is.
to her, not to cut you off, it goes back to the conversation. Because if this woman is choosing to wait till she's married, then she shouldn't have to change that because she's involving herself with a guy who just can't get with it. Okay, so then that means you're not the guy for me. If you can't
Right.
get with the idea that I am choosing to wait until I'm married,
Yeah,
period.
but then what if we wait and then it's whack?
Which is what happens, right? So then that's why, although we might be waiting, we do need to still have a conversation. Now here's the other piece to that though. Some people don't know what they want, need, and or desire. So then that's an additional layer of conversations, because you will be surprised at how many people do not know what they want.
I agree
And
with that
then
too.
so then we already have a bigger issue. So when it gets to that point, it might not even matter whether we wait or not, because you don't even know what it is you desire or
Mhm.
what you like or what you think you like.
Okay, well, for me, I don't know how to answer that question. I know I asked the question, but my response to that would be, I think it's the same on both levels. I think sex is both a natural and a spiritual thing. So I think it goes to both categories. Now, my level of importance, for both, how important is it for people to be non? I think I think it's real important. I would give it an 8, and that's on both sides. And the reason why I say that it's important for them to be non is because all the conversations that you can have about sex before marriage, you can have them after. So if we are being, because if you tell me you don't want to be sexual before, which that's the conversation that I'm having, but like, bruh, okay, well then it needs to be understood. This is what I want. This is what I like. This is what I desire. And how do you feel about this? How do you feel about going to this extent? But the conversation is what I would hang my hat on. And then I would say none, because we live in an over sexually stimulated like America. So
Mhm.
like I feel like if you can't control your body, now that's not to say it's never gonna happen before we get married, but it does need to be some type of discipline for both of our physical bodies, because bro, even after you get married, the temptations don't stop outside of you and I. So I see it on the
Mm.
level of having your body under control before you decide to get married, because the same temptations you having before marriage, you're gonna have them probably to a greater extent after we get married. And
Oh yeah,
Agreed.
they
how
don't
can
stop. They
right,
don't
how
stop.
can I actually trust that you're actually gonna be loyal to me if you can't say let's commit to not being sexual with nobody, including each other, and then we're
Now,
Agreed.
gonna choose
now,
to be sexual based on our word alone? To me,
can I
Deep.
that
be honest with you?
That's
Can I be
deep.
yeah,
honest with
right,
you?
right. So that's why I would say I put it on a high level of importance, even though I
Hold
agree
on.
with the spiritual and natural, but I think they're the same. And I
Let me
give it
let
a
me
I give it
pinpoint.
a number
Let me
eight and a
pinpoint
half
to what.
to a 9.
Let me
I'm
pinpoint to
sorry,
what
go
you're
ahead.
saying. It doesn't matter in some cases if they show you that they can be disciplined or not. If they haven't matured or been delivered from that thing, uh,
Yeah.
something still can happen at any point in
When
time.
but that's my point. You would see that though before you made the commitment
They
to
can show you
marry them.
all day that they.
What
Would you
did you hear
though?
what I said? Yes. Look, if we decide that we're not going to be sexual before we get married, if you can't control yourself sexually, I'm going to see that before we get married.
Mhm,
I'm
mhm.
going to already see that. So now I know even if we do get married, this person is going to be a hoe. Well, I hate saying that on the
Yeah,
podcast, but that's
yeah,
what it is. Bro, if you can't control yourself, and that's what it really boils down to. So how do I know if you get mad at me tonight and we are having a tough time in our marriage, right? How do I know you ain't gonna step out? I know that if we both were strong enough to commit before to none, but how do I know that after? I don't know, because at times in marriage you gotta say
yeah.
no on
But
the strength of your word.
then
All
let's
right,
be
come on.
honest. Just because I was able to have discipline before we was married
Don't
doesn't
mean that
mean
you're
I'm
gonna
gonna
do it.
have discipline later. So I don't. I hear you, but I don't think that correlates
You're right.
because people flip the script all
That's
the
what
time.
I'm saying.
So I probably was able to hold myself together because I genuinely wanted you in that moment. But things change, right?
Okay.
And
Um,
Okay.
nothing go
that's
across
another
it.
piece. There's
Sometimes
so
it can
many
get so
people.
overspected.
Yeah, there's so many. I'm telling you, and that's another
Hey,
piece too. There's so many people who one of the reasons they are so heartbroken is because the person that cheated is the person they never saw that coming from. Like
right.
there are
Okay.
some
Yeah, I got
people
you.
where it's like, oh my gosh, I don't even know who the hell I married
Yeah.
because there has
That's a lot
never
of people.
been any indication that this is a person, that you would do that to me,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
So I hear you, but I don't think it's correlated because there's so many people think people change, and the
Well, yeah.
person you knew yesterday is not the same person today.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. Well, I can hear that, but at the same time, that could happen whether we're doing it or not. Like
Right.
either it can happen on both sides. We could have been sexual the
Exactly.
whole time before
But
we
That's
get
the
married,
point.
and then
that's what
after
we're
we get
saying.
married, okay,
But
I
you
got you.
said if you can't have discipline here, I'm only addressing what you said, right? I probably had so much discipline prior to the marriage, but that doesn't necessarily guarantee that I won't step
Or
out.
or
Okay, hold
just
on.
to
Let me push back on that. But go ahead. Go
when
ahead.
she
I'm sorry.
said, who the heck did I marry? There's a series out on TikTok, 50 parts about her saying the exact same thing. Who did I marry? I watched a movie today. It's a YouTube movie about the story of that situation, and it's the same thing. You can have the front face on. You can say I'm this, I'm that. You can prove in all kind of ways that you are this person and be somebody completely different. You can say
I
and
hear
show
you.
that you have discipline all day long. I'm good with us, but when I'm not around you, I can be a whole nother person. So what I'm
Yeah,
saying is they can prove one thing to you and be doing something else. So what
completely
you're saying
different.
to me is kind of null and void because I can do exactly what you want and what you're needing and be getting it on when I'm not around you, and
Yeah,
you would never
Yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Okay, yeah. I hear what you're saying. I do, and I can't say that you're wrong with that. I can't say that you're wrong. I gotta agree with you, but
So this
again, even
the question I was
even
going.
still though, it could still go both ways. Hold on. I wanted to push back on the what you said, Alicia, about is discipline. Like I could be disciplined before and then after. Me, I don't understand the logic of really doing that. Like, I mean, okay, you don't know why people do stuff, so
right.
I guess I could see that. But for me, I don't know why I would go to the extent of being disciplined before the commitment, and then after I make the commitment, then choose to not be disciplined no more. Like, I think it
Just
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 Because you
like
defeats the
I
see
don't
that as
know
purpose.
why
change.
people can go through the extent of getting married and then cheat on your spouse.
Look, I feel you. I feel you 100%. That's why I said what I said before that, because I could say that, but then at the same time, you don't know why people do what they
People
do. Yeah,
change, and I mean, and life happens. Like we have to also name that life happens, and so sometimes people just get in a space to where let's go back to how we started. When Antoine said there was a point in his life when he wasn't in a good space, he didn't recognize it in that moment why he was engaging with these women, but he had to realize he was just in a different space. So things happen where people get into these spaces where sometimes we're not always able to make the best choice.
see,
We make the choice that feels good in the moment, not
that's
Now
necessarily
hard.
what's right for
let me
us.
say
That's
let me
why
say
it's
what I
so hard, bro. Look, I'm
let
sorry,
me say
bro. That's
let me
why
say
it's
something.
so hard. Go ahead.
That I don't know if other people have dealt with this, but I've dealt with this, so that's why I'm bringing it up, and it kind of goes
Making
into
a left.
kind of what we're talking about. At some points or times in my life, I could have chased this person, or I could have desired sex from this person, and I finally get to the point where it go down and it happens. As soon as that nut crawls, my whole mindset about this person changes. Not
Changes.
because it happened soon, or not because I finally got what I conquered what I was trying, but the fact of the matter is there was no real connection, or maybe
Hold on,
there
hold
was
on.
no
So,
passion.
Alicia, does that happen with women? Does that happen with women? So, like women, does that effect happen with women? Like once that the climax is done, then you like, dang, like I don't even like this nigga no more. Does
I
that
don't, I
happen with
don't, I
women?
don't even, I don't even think it has to be directly correlated with the climax. I think there are situations where it could be right after you like, oh my God, he's a jerk.
What
You
am I
know,
doing? Yeah,
yeah, it's something that he says or something that he does. I think we are human, and
I'm,
so at some point we all will get to a place where we like, oh, I'm not really feeling you. Like, that's why you have some people that's like they don't let people spend a night. Once we do what we do, you got to leave, right? I just think I think it can go both ways. I think we all get to a point to where we recognize I don't like you,
Yeah.
and
women
that's
sometimes
okay.
can be just as ruthless as men with what you just said.
Yeah, I know.
At a
That's why
face,
I asked because we don't never have a woman on the show.
yeah, when it's done, make sure you get up and you leave. So then that sometimes that can program a guy to be like, okay, after it's finished, I'm getting up. I'm not laying there cuddling. I'm not laying there hugging. I'm gonna get up, go shower, clean up, and then I'm gone. And then that sends the wrong signal to other women
To
if you
another
ever get
person.
in
Yeah,
another situation that,
yeah,
dang, you just gonna get up and leave. You ain't gonna cuddle. You ain't gonna throw that. I
right.
was just a lady to you. That's what it was, huh?
Which is
And
which is why we have to teach people how we want to be treated. Period.
exactly, exactly.
In every situation. Antoine, I think you was about to take it to another level though. Like what you was about to ask.
I forgot.
That's because you driving.
I made it to my destination. I'm already at church.
Oh Lord. All right. Well, look, we 129. I'm gonna drop one more question and then we're gonna go offline, guys. All right. So I ain't gonna keep y'all all night.
Thank
All
you,
right.
cause you ain't paying us what we contracted.
Hey, shut up, man. All right. Here's a question.
We ain't we don't have no
Do you
contract.
think do you think it affects now y'all married, but I'm gonna still ask the question anyway, because I'm not married and this is my show. So look, do you think
Oh wow.
it will affect your dating experience if you have a casual before or while you're dating? You get what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
How and why? How and why?
for women it does, and
For dudes that don't?
it shouldn't, because it has nothing to do with you who I'm intimate with if I'm not intimate with you. If I'm dating you and we're just trying to get to know each other, I will then decide if I need to cut this person off and then exclusively deal with you. But for a woman to hear that you're sleeping with another woman and you're dating me, it instantly is a turnoff.
Wait. Who gonna tell her that? I'm just saying, just generally, like, for a person, this is for people, this is conversations that you're not having with the other person. This is just for like individual, like let's just say a person is dating
Mhm.
or they're deciding to date, but they have a casual that they link with, but then they're dating other people. Do you know how much of an effect does that of an effect does that have on their dating experience?
I
That's the
think
question.
I can answer this. I'm gonna answer from my opinion. I think that it has a major impact because if that is what you're engaging in, then you are automatically assuming that that's what you may get from the other person. And if that's not where they are, then you're wasting everybody's time. I think that if you are in the process of dating and trying to get to know other people, you should be mature enough to cut off everything else and or be open and honest with her and say,
Oh
I
Yeah,
yeah.
am dating somebody else. Again, we don't want to talk about it, but you need to say,
that's
and
one of them
sometimes
divulging
this with
conversations.
benefits. right?
Yeah.
And then you let her choose if she wants to continue getting to know you,
Right.
or if she wants to say, you know what, it sounds like you have a lot going on. So you hit me up when you end that and when you're really ready to get to know me.
The women
Yeah.
that are serious about doing something or dating for marriage will be like, no.
No,
Some women, and I want you to hear what I'm saying. If you're honest and straight up, sometimes you
They
will be
don't care.
surprised. The women be like, hey, I'm good
Yep.
with it. I'm
Yeah.
doing my
Free
thing.
game.
It's cool.
Free game. Yeah.
You'll be surprised nowadays. Now, I'm not saying that was back then,
Yeah.
but
No.
nowadays
No. Look.
they don't care
I
as
I,
long
I
as
think
you're
it's
honest. Go ahead.
no. I was gonna say that. I think it's the biggest the thing that dropped for me when I was single, and this was like some years ago. But I realized if you just tell the truth, women they respect that, and sometimes what you think of make you strike out, it actually gives you the respect level of okay, I don't care, you know what I'm saying? But just the fact that you was real enough to speak on it. But
It
what is that?
depends
What was
on the
that? What was
woman.
that? What was that? Hold on,
It
I
depends
no,
on
Alicia,
the
I
what was
woman.
hear
that?
no, I can see how people think that.
But
Um,
that's the truth.
Again, I
That's the
think it
truth.
just goes back on maturity level because I would never get with the idea of you telling me to my face you want to get to know me, but then you telling me you also sleeping with somebody else. To me, that's not a flex. That means you need to find another person to date. I'm not the one because I mean, I'm married now, but my mindset was never I'm a casual dater. I
Right. You
have
was
so
always
many
dating
other
with
things that I'm
intention.
trying to accomplish in my life. And if you're holding me up because you're wasting my time, because you're trying to stay with me, so I'm the person you taking to the nice dinners, but then you dropping me off and going,
So
that
look,
that's
so
I
look,
can't
my
do
wife,
that.
when I told my wife that that I wanted to date other people, her mindset was you're not gonna be effing me and effing somebody else, even though we wasn't sleeping together, even though we already
Yeah,
said we wasn't gonna have sex. Why would the mindset be you're not gonna be coming over here being with me, effing me, and then going over to effing somebody? The mindset was it didn't have nothing to do with her. The whole thing was you're not gonna be over there sleeping with somebody else and coming to date me.
right.
That's what it
Absolutely
was.
not.
It boiled down to you're not going to be intimate and giving yourself to another person,
Right.
connecting soul ties, and then
No,
coming to me and trying to date me.
Wait,
absolutely
hold on, hold on. Look, I get it.
Every
I
time,
get it. I get it.
I'm gonna say
You
what you finna say.
wouldn't you look? No, no, no. Look, I'm playing devil's advocate here, okay? But even with that said, um, the modern mindset with most, not I'm not even gonna say most. The modern mindset though is, am I not in bounds at this point? If you said that you're not gonna be sexual with me, um, she was basically telling you to not date her then, and
Yeah,
you wanted to continue dating her.
I actually left her alone and went to go date. That's what happened
Yeah,
initially.
well, right, okay. So because that's what be the response. The modern mindset. The modern mindset would be,
Yeah,
look, you said you don't
but
want to give me
it
that.
wasn't because of sex. It wasn't because of sex. It was just that I wanted to date multiple people and then decide who I wanted to be with. Not you telling me you're a wife and I don't even know you to that extent yet. So it
Right.
kind of it's a touchy situation because unless I'm trusting in God and giving Him all the faith and walking in that this is the person that you sent me, which again, if you're not at that level spiritually, you like I want to see for myself who this
right.
person is. Like you can tell me all day what you are and what you do and who you are and what you got to that all that is talk unless I see it myself. But so that's kind of what I did. I
And
walked away
you
from it.
didn't see it. You had to trust her word.
Yeah, basically. But I walked away from it, and then when it came back full circle, then I walked in
You
trust.
was able to recognize, yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
was able to
I
recognize it.
think I don't think it's something that you should do. If you want to date other people, cool. But again, it goes back to we having a conversation. I feel like once you are allowing yourself to be emotionally intimate with somebody else, then we don't need to talk right now.
That's the
That's
difference
just,
between
that's
a
it.
mature woman and just a person that's just, in my opinion, a person that's
Yep.
just like
Well, you know what? For me, I think
whatever.
that you shouldn't have. I think that you should not have a casual sex partner when you decide that you're going to start dating, whether you're being serious in your dating or not, whether you're dating with the intent to marry or not. I don't think that you should cloud your own judgment with that, because at that point, I see this, me personally, I see that as you're chasing a nut with this other person, and they're learning your body. They know your body. They know this. So where can a new person come in? And even if you like the new person, the other person can hit you up at any given time. And nah, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that just on the strength of it's just a waste of my time. So I agree with you, Alicia. And I'm a dude, and I'm saying that I don't think that it should be done. I was really just asking the question because, do you think a person should be dating if they're not dating with the intent to marry?
That's perspective.
Yeah, again, yeah, that's a good way to look at that perspective. But I don't think so. I think that once we start dating, we should know where we're going with this. And if you know that you are not a person that wants anything serious, then that needs to be upfront so that everybody can make the decisions that they want to make. But I do believe at a certain age of your life, you should not just be dating just to date. Like, you should be dating to get to a place of finding my person. I think everybody should while it's okay to be alone, I strongly don't believe that life is intended for us to do this thing by ourselves.
Right. Not the whole
Not the whole thing. So you
Yeah.
should be allowing yourself an opportunity to find the person that's going to give you an additional sense of purpose, the person that's going to make you laugh, the person that's going to be able to lift you up when you can't lift up yourself, the person that's going to pray for you when you can't pray for yourself, the person where you can be your authentic self with and not feel judged and or resented by. And so we should go into dating with that mindset. We should not be going into dating just to casually do anything. We should have a purpose of something. And I
Antoine,
look at you sideways as a person if you don't have a purpose for what we're doing. Oh my goodness, now he's Mr. Clean. All right.
I change up my name from time to time. I'm the black one.
Hey, yo. Hey, no, dude, you know what? I hear what you're saying. Not gonna say whether I agree or disagree or not. I want to hear your thoughts on that. Should a person be dating if they're not dating to marry? Should they just be dating just to? I wanted to say the other word, but
And let's
I'm
make
gonna
sure we say an adult. Now, we're not talking about teenagers, but
No,
as
no, 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 no.
adults.
We talking. No, teenagers
As
don't
an
date.
adult.
Teenagers, like, they have these little. I'm talking about grown ups.
Yeah.
We talking about past 25.
Yeah.
Where if you're 21, you're an adult, but like past 25. Do you
I
think a
feel
person
like
should be dating if they're not dating to marry? Can a
I feel
person
like
just be dating just to be dating? Like, what's wrong with
I
that?
feel
I
like
mean, I'm just asking.
after my last marriage, I was in a mindset of I wasn't gonna get married no more. I just wanted to date and go out and have friends. And if I got into even a relationship with somebody, it was just gonna be a relationship. It wasn't gonna be marriage, and I was okay with that. And I was okay with being honest with that up front. What happened over time was I realized that I think I function better in a marriage. I think that I want to be married. I think that I enjoy the companionship of another person that I can, share life with every day. I you know and then when I was dating, it made me feel as if I was back in those whole stages where I was talking to multiple women, trying to keep up with different stories with different people, trying
Yeah.
to balance
You,
conversation and give everybody the amount of time that they're wanting and requiring. At that
yeah,
point in
and
time,
you
it was like,
can't.
this is too much.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
too much.
And then maybe we should put a spin on it. And maybe we don't necessarily have to use the M word, but we definitely should be dating to be in a commitment, even if we take it that way. Because then we have to look at some people just I've seen marriages. I don't like the way it look, but I like the idea of having my person, right? So
Hmm.
if you are a person
I'm
that
so
just
glad you
wanting to
said
be
that.
married, that's fine. But again, there still needs to be a push towards some level of commitment
Commitment.
with
Yeah,
that one person.
I like it.
Yeah, I'm so glad you said that because I am terrified of the M word. I swear I am. I am so
No, you're
scared of
not.
that word. I am. Now I'm not biased to having my own person. I am very look. Okay, so to answer my own question, should a person be dating without the intent of marriage? I was gonna say that. I was gonna say I'm not gonna say marriage, but at least some type of some level of commitment.
Mhm.
Because and to your point, Antoine, bruh, when you was young to have this and that, that was different. But once you get grown and you got stuff that you
Yeah,
got
fam, no.
taxes, you got businesses, you got all these LLCs, no, come on,
You know,
man.
Marcus, I've talked about this on our podcast before.
You have.
When it really hit me, I was dating and going on multiple dates and spending a lot of money, and then when I
Bruh,
turned around and looked at, it, I'm
yes.
like, what?
What
What am
what
I
am I
doing?
doing?
Yeah.
Are you crazy?
Yeah.
No. And the type of guy I am, I want to be the one who's showing you a good time. I want to be the one who pay. I want to be the one who show you different things and new things.
Yeah,
That
but
stuff
you
costs
only
money, and when you're doing
right.
that with 5 and 6 different people,
Exactly.
oh my
See,
god,
for me, I let me take you a step further with that, and I'm gonna get to finish what I was saying, but just to comment on what you said, bruh. I have like it's not like I don't have the money, but the thing is once I spend it and I realize I don't like this person,
Yeah.
I'm like I ain't never going on another date again. I'm just like, bruh, like nigga, I just spent this money and I don't even. I was about to say it. I don't even like this person. I don't even
Yeah.
like her.
yeah,
But I just so for me, I see it as it's easier for me to put that time, that money, and that effort into a person that I know 2 weeks we're still gonna be kicking it. You know what I'm saying? So it changes. But I think a person should be dating with intention,
Yeah.
especially once you get to a certain age. Like it makes no sense to just date
Right.
casually unless you're just gonna just say I'm looking for friends with benefits and then let that be known. But it's
Right.
still to me it shouldn't be multiples. If that's the only thing that's gotten your life and you're at a certain age, I mean you probably should rethink what you're doing with
What you
yourself.
doing?
So
what
Yep.
what if we added this as a to be continued? This
yeah, this is
specific
gonna
thing that I'm
definitely.
finna say. Hold on, this the specific thing I'm finna say.
Oh.
The women now have an expectation of a man to splurge on them first date, to splurge on them, pay for everything, and it better not be nothing cheap. You know, you seen the videos. Don't take me to Cheesecake Factory. Cheesecake Factory, what?
I love
And
Cheesecake
they,
Factory.
right? They don't want you to take them to these little spaces. Don't take them no Applebee's. They, don't no Waffle House. They want to go to somewhere where you spend a lot of money. And sometimes the men nowadays, if I'm gonna do that, I'll do it. If I'm gonna splurge like
But
that,
I got the kind of
you
what does that come with?
you
It
know
come
what I'm
with it come
standing
with
behind.
maximum. It come
Exactly.
with maximum.
Exactly. So maybe we can to be
I'm
continued
sorry, bro.
that.
It come with Trojan. What does the lobster come with? Trojan.
Right.
Trojan ends.
If I'm spending over $110, then you already know what's
Magnum.
happening.
The dessert to that is magnums. That's
But
right,
but
sweetheart.
then at the same time, the average date nowadays is between $80 and $100.
Yeah, but see, you want to do that when the person that you actually. So look, let me just clarify for the people that are watching. Minister Marcus is non. So if you're thinking about, you want us to date, no, I'm not. I am a non. If you don't know what that means, go look at my Instagram page. I am non.
Hmm.
All right. So with that said, um, bruh,
Are you
that is
numb
a
because you don't want no accidental kids?
nah,
I'm
nah,
just
nah, nah, nah.
playing.
I'm beyond that. I'm non. Honestly, I'm non. No, I'm non because let me say it this way. If you got a Tesla in the driveway, you don't give it away for free if you're gonna sell it. It costs something. It's value on that. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I say. You don't give good stuff away for free. That's what I would say. And I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about like, bro, you get to an age where you want to build, you want to invest. Like you want to invest your time and your energy and your effort into something. So it's not just on the
Yeah.
physical act. It's on I
Everything.
want you to be in line. I want you to be aligned with what I'm trying
What
to
I'm at.
build, what I'm trying to write, legacy, this vision that I got going. Like, if you don't want to be a part of that, you're not getting that. And then if you do want to be a part of it, I don't care about planting seeds. I don't care. Like I feel like I'm gonna be good, but like you need to be on board with the vision. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to build something before I die. So
Man,
like, yeah,
I had to tell a couple of guys, and I don't know if it was right or wrong, but I said, if you have to look at a woman and say, yeah, she got a lot of butt, but just in your mind, put in there that it stank.
No, it
Yeah,
ain't
see,
nothing but doo doo
hold
in
on.
there.
Yeah,
Put that by
right.
God.
Whatever you gotta do to poison your mind to give you that discipline, that's what you gotta do. You look at her and say, oh, she might have some type of disease. If it's gonna stop you from going over there and just thinking you finna get in there and smash, then do whatever you need to do to discipline yourself until you're disciplined enough to not just
But
act or react.
but then that's not really discipline yourself. Because if I have to do all of that just to have restraint from myself, again, we have a bigger issue. Why can't you just say,
No.
I want more? And this person is not aligned with what I want,
I'm
period.
saying until they get to that point. Some people it
It's
takes
just
time.
lust. But see,
Yeah.
that's where
Look,
I'm it's bro, you gonna be chasing lust for the next 20 years, bro. I want to build something, and if a person come, I want you to be a part of my vision. I have things that you can do in the vision, but and then you can get all the benefits with that comes with me. But beyond that, I'm none, bro. Like no, no, no. I love all of my kids, and they are part of my overall vision. So if I have a person with a person, I need to be sure that both of these people are gonna be a part of the vision. I don't need
It's
you
already
breaking
in
free.
place.
So yeah, right. So I'm none for that reason. So for everybody that was asking me in the inbox, I am none. Right, I'm none. But I am taking applications though. So anyway, with that,
he's
guys,
taking application.
thank y'all for y'all conversation. Please, well, I'm gonna tell y'all that once we go offline. But I am Minister Marcus. Thank y'all for watching the podcast. Thank you, Dr. McKenzie. I don't like calling you doctor. I'm gonna start calling you Alicia.
Yeah, yes.
Well, thank you for coming on. So do you have anything you want to leave like a sign off before we go offline?
I do. This was interesting. I'm curious to see what this could go further because I think we just kind of touched the surface. I don't know
We
if the
did.
two of you were holding back or what. So I don't know how to feel about that. So I'm hoping that we can come back together to really dive into some real grown up stuff.
We shall.
Um,
We
Oh, we
shall.
can. Oh, yes. Thank you.
but
Thank you very much.
however,
Absolutely.
I do want to leave just for the because we did kind of talk about just having a purpose when you're dating. I just would tell everybody to lead with compassion anytime you deal with people, but make sure you prioritize yourself. If you know that there are certain things that you are wanting and or expecting, then you have to make sure everybody meet your expectations. You never change your expectations for anybody, regardless of what they look like or what their bank accounts looks like. Just know what it is that you want. Therefore, you are setting the standard of what you need and desire of people. Don't allow, like we were saying, modern day life and modern day views to change who you are as a person. Be yourself, prioritize yourself, but definitely lead with compassion. Therefore, if this person is not what you're seeking, then you need to be open and honest enough to say you are not it and move on. It's okay to tell people they're just not the one. Don't feel sad and don't apologize for being your open and authentic self. That's all I
Wow.
got.
All right. Thank you for that. Where can they find you? Are you on social media?
I am. All right. So I am accepting clients for anybody that is needing either couples and or individual counseling. I am the owner of Purposely Poised Counseling and Consultants. You can find me. I am at Dr. Alicia McKenzie, but you can also just Google Purposely Poised Counseling and Consultants, and I will pop up. If you are needing support on your journey towards healing, self-discovery, being purposely poised, finding peace, and or finding a space of happiness, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. I will gladly support you on your journey of healing.
Okay. Thank you very much for that. I have some stuff I want to talk to you about offline
Yes,
before you go off. So
no
thank you
problem.
for that. Thank you for your time, Dr. Alicia. Please stay on.
Will do.
Okay, Antoine, brother Twan, you got anything, Mr. Clean?
Mr.
you wanna you wanna
I
start
can't
off?
follow up behind that. That was amazing. That was
All
a
right.
good summary of
What can we
everything we
say?
talked about. Never just remember that it's never too late to change. That's one. Number two, we got your back. Like, share, follow. If you have questions or comments, please chime in. We definitely will talk about them and get them out there and address them. If we were wrong, we apologize. If we made mistakes, forgive us. We just want to be transparent with everything we're talking
That's
about,
right.
our feelings
Thank
and
you.
our opinions, not
Thank you.
what's etched in stone. And last thing is, nothing without Christ will last.
Love it. Love it. I like it. I think that was great. That's definitely how you end it. That's Mr. Clean did that. You cleaned that up.
You gotta clean up
Yeah.
what
Hey,
you
You,
messed up.
last
You
sign
gotta
up,
start
man.
your life all over again.
come on now.
Thank y'all. I'm gonna leave y'all with this. He who sleeps on the floor cannot fall out of bed.
Okay.
Thank y'all for watching. I'll see y'all next time, man. I love you guys. Thank y'all for watching. Please like this, share this, let somebody know about the podcast about from Minister Marcus. But I'm going offline. I'll see y'all on the flip.
Man, I ain't stayed on the
Bye.
phone. I ain't stayed on the phone 100. I mean, an hour and 52 minutes with nobody. Man, get off of here.